The White House. Peter, thanks very much. Let's turn to John Bussey now, associate editor of the Wall Street Journal, with which this channel shares common ownership, and he's also a Fox News contributor. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Some quotes here. The first one from Bannon, A1A, treasonous. He says, the three senior guys in the campaign thought it was a good idea to meet with foreign government inside Trump Tower in conference room on the 25th floor with no lawyers. Even if you thought that was not treasonous or unpatriotic or bad stuff, and I happen to think it's all of that, you should have called the FBI immediately. Treasonous, he says.
Pretty interesting language coming from a man who was a chief advisor to Donald Trump candidate and then subsequent to that Donald Trump president. There's two implications of this material that's coming out now. One is exactly what he said, this comment being one of them, but also what it means for the 2018 midterms. What he said is going to just, it's just going to give, if it didn't already have it, continued momentum to the Mueller investigation. This kind of language questioning the sensibility of that meeting with the Russian lawyer in Trump Tower. But he went beyond that. He said he talked a little bit about the issue of money laundering, and as you will know, Shep, that Mueller has hired some of the best money laundering expert prosecutors in the land, and he's looking deeply at this issue of money laundering. Whether or not this bumps up against the Trump organization, we don't know yet. But Bannon's language in the book, again, which he has not denied. He has not denied this language. This is all about money laundering, he said to Mr. Wolf. The path to, quote, Trump goes right through Paul Manafort, Don Jr., and Jared Kushner. It's as plain as the hair on your face. Now, what does that mean? What is he saying? What is he suggesting there? And how much of this is going to simply give more legs to an investigation that the Trump presidency had hoped was going to sort of wrap up by Christmas?
Well, one of the things he said was that the main lawyer hired, the first prosecutor, was all about money laundering, that to him at least, this investigation clearly is about money laundering.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's where Bannon is headed in this conversation. This is a political bromance gone bad, and it's going to have longer-term implications for what's now going to happen this year in elections around the country. The Trump group of the electorate now is kind of split between those people who are going to support President Trump and those who support Bannon and sort of the nationalist image that he has for the country and the agenda that he helped set that got Trump elected, the language of that agenda. There's going to be a split. If you're a candidate out there, you're a Republican candidate, do you sort of welcome Steve Bannon's endorsement at this point? Is that going to you with the President of the United States, or do you shun it? That's the cleavages that you're going to see, along with the cleavage that has the establishment GOP kind of off on its own at this stage.
You know, the allegation is that for Trump, winning was going to be being the most famous person in the world, that he was going to parlay that fame into a news network, A1C now. And here's a quote about the election night. Trump did not enjoy his own inauguration. He was angry that A-level stars snubbed the event and visibly fighting with his wife, who seemed to be on the verge of tears. Throughout the day, he wore what some around him had taken to calling his golf face, angry and pissed off, shoulders hunched, arms swinging, brow furrowed, lips pursed.
So the administration is saying, just don't believe this book, that there are a lot of untruths in it. It's going to be tough for an administration that has had trouble presenting the truth itself and has been caught in any number of falsehoods.
Hundreds. Lecturing
somebody else about truth-telling. Again, the implications for this politically in the United States are notable and will kind of play out as this year goes on. Jerry Seib has a very good, our correspondent Jerry Seib has a very good video on WSHA.com about this right now, about what are candidates now going to do? How are they going to confront yet another change in the landscape for Republican candidates?
There's the matter of leaking inside the White House, and today we hear about this cell phone ban in the West Wing. That's discussed as well. As details of Trump's personal life leaked out, he became obsessed with identifying the leaker. The source of all the gossip may well have been Trump himself. In his calls throughout the day and at night from his bed, he often spoke to people who had no reason to keep his confidences. He was a river of grievances, which recipients of his calls promptly spread to the ever-attentive media.
So the desire to control the image of Trump Inc. and the presidency of Donald Trump is Also in this notion of a cease and desist order. If you really want to promote a book, attack the book publicly as President of the United States, the book is out there. People are going to see it. Now it's being made even sort of more pronounced on the political landscape. It's probably not the best way to go about trying to squelch something that's critical of your presidency.
Yeah, that's how it appears. Thousands, tens of thousands of pre-sales.
Yep.
John Bussey from Wall Street Journal, thank you. So President Trump's lawyers firing off letters to try, apparently, to stop this new book from ever hitting the shelves. We'll speak with a Justice Department lawyer about the Trump team's chances.